Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw.
Hello, everybody. This is Dan Early here, host of the Toxic Podcast, owner of Juggle Media. I'm here today to talk to you about all kinds of stuff that's going on in my mind. This is a Toxic Podcast. We talk about health, spiritual, mental, physical, financial, and might throw in some comedy in there, because this life can be very intense. And if we don't have a sense of humor, yeah, things can get very dark very fast. You know, comedy is a great medicine and it's not always appropriate, but sometimes it's the best medicine you can get, when you're feeling down and out and, one of your friends calls you up and cheers you up a little bit. There's nothing better than that, you know? I'm a strong believer in tough love. I used to be. I still am too. Shout out Mitch Hedberg. But recently I'm learning that tough love is not always the medicine that's required. We are human beings. We are very dynamic creatures. Our minds go up and down, left and right, in and out. So many degrees, so many dimensions. And, I'm a Lyft driver. So I meet people all day long. And a couple weeks ago, I picked up the head doctor, the head of the emergency room at Coronado Hospital. And he told me something that really made a lot of sense. He said, ever since COVID, there's been a big rise in depression and substance abuse. And that's something that allowed me to have some insight and compassion towards my passengers, my fellow human beings, because I pick up like 30, 40 people every day. They get in my car and we're here in San Diego, so a lot of people are super pleasant and super nice. And a lot of people are also kind of distant, kind of sad, kind of angry, you know? And for a long time, I would get triggered by these people, and I still do because, trust me, I am far from perfect, far from it. But recently, I've been learning a lot about myself and about humanity, about God, and I realized that just as it's true that misery likes company, I learned from one of my passengers that joy is contagious. Okay? And that's always been part of who I am, Ever since I'm 8 years old, I used to throw parties in my house, and I just like making people happy. And we'll go back into that a little bit later, the thing called codependency, being a people pleaser, you know, and bringing it into my story, I get lots of people that are miserable and they get into my car. They don't want to say hello. They don't want to say how you're doing. They just want to reach wherever they're going, get to work, get over with the day, reach the bar, get some drinks in them so that they can forget about their day. And, who am I? I'm just a Lyft driver. They're never going to see me again. Why would they waste their energy on being nice to me? That's something that runs in my head when I pick people who are kind of down, people feeling kind of negative vibes, as you would say. But recently, I'm learning to have ultimate compassion and unconditional love towards everyone I come across because I always believed and still do that God is everything and everyone. So you are God and I am God, and this microphone right here is God, and this camera right there is God, and all these beautiful lights I got set up in here. And once I really align with that, then it gets much easier for me to treat everyone and everything with respect. Because I heard once someone say that if you don't love everyone, you don't love anyone, which means having compassion and understanding and patience and gentleness with everyone you cross paths with. I know it sounds easier said than done, and it can be very challenging when you're stressed out and focused on something to have compassion and patience for the person that's calling you when you're trying to get something done, or if you're driving in traffic and somebody cuts you off, you know. Trust me, I get angry at people all day long. But sometimes somebody cuts me off and I take a deep breath and I tell myself, okay, these guys are in a rush. They're probably going through something that I have no idea or clue about. And it keeps me in a calm and pleasant mood, you know? So it's not that easy, but I'll tell you that it feels a whole lot better, you know? Because I know from my experience, 40 years on this planet, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and Tel Aviv, Israel, and I lived in all kinds of places where tension is the norm, and places where trusting other people is dangerous because there's lots of scammers out there, lots of wolves in sheep's clothing, people that are just going to try to take advantage of you and use and abuse you, or just people who are in a bad mood and want you to be in a bad mood also, you know? But recently I've learned that we're all just wandering around this planet, lost and confused, and none of us really knows anything, you know? We all like to think that we know everything, or that we know some things, you know, but what do you know if you learn every day? So be careful of things that you say. Shout out Proto J, Chronix, two of my favorite singers, you know. Music has always been a great, great medicine for me. I like to call myself a musician, and hopefully soon you get to hear some of my music. And right now, the music that I'm working on is something that I'm very, very proud of, you know, because its intent, my intention in making music is to heal the people that listen and to heal myself. Because, like Bob Marley said, when the music hits, you feel no pain, which means when you hear a good song that makes you feel good, it doesn't matter what's going on in the background of your life. You're just gonna feel good. And if you start dancing, you feel even better. You know what I mean? So if you're feeling depressed right now, I'm asking you politely to pause this podcast, go put on your favorite song, and dance to it. You know? It feels weird sometimes, we are so self conscious and worried about what people might think, but you're probably in your house right now. Nobody can see you. I hope you have some good speakers or at least a Bluetooth speaker that you can hear all the frequencies of the music that you love so much. Maybe you're in your car. Play that song you like, you know, that latest song that you heard at a party somewhere or that you saw on a TikTok reel. Just dance. Dancing has always been a crucial part of human development. Music, singing, dancing, playing the drums. Those are the oldest forms of communication, the oldest forms of medicine, of shamanic healing, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, I've been learning a lot about myself and about my mission here on earth and what I like doing, what makes me happy. So, one of those things is music. Another thing is talking. Yeah, I got a big mouth. And I was kind of a shy guy for a while. And until I started my company and was put in a position where I have to talk to the camera in order to build trust with my clients, my future clients, my current clients, then yeah, I never really talked in front of a camera like this before. This is my first time having a whole heart to heart open conversation with the camera like this. And it was quite intimidating at first. I actually had a guest who was supposed to come join me today, and he didn't show up last minute. My two previous podcasts, episode 2 and episode 3, they had some mysterious technical issues which preventing me from uploading those episodes. So the universe or God or the Most High, or wherever you want to call it, the algorithm has put me in this seat right here, right now, talking to you guys. And I have some topics on my phone that I want to talk about, but I'm also just working with Source here right now and with my intuition and my flow of what God or the universe or whatever you call it. I'm just going to call it God from now on. I hope you don't mind, all you atheists, pagans, Satanists, whatever you believe in, it's all one. It's all the same. Um, so yeah, I'm here right now with you talking about my life, and hopefully you'll find some inspiration and some topics that resonate with what you're dealing with. And yeah, back to my car, driving for Lyft, trying not to get frustrated by other drivers, by other passengers. And I talked about this in my first podcast. Uh, Picked up this guy at the hospital in Hillcrest, and he was telling me that he tried to kill himself. And he got on his bicycle and rode into the 805 high speed highway. For those of you who aren't in San Diego, people drive 80 miles an hour over there. And this man drove onto the highway with the intention of killing himself. And sure enough, a car hit him at a very high speed. He doesn't even know how fast it was. The car did not stop. The people just drove along, drove away, and luckily enough, this man lived to tell the story. And he came into my car and he told me about his story. And basically, when he was 13 years old, he got into pornography. And as a male porn star in this world, you are pretty much directed to a certain genre of porn. He was proud, telling me, "Oh, I got on Pornhub when I was only 13 and I managed to fool them." And, you know, so this kid, he did a lot of sex work as they call it, prostitution, male prostitution, and was making lots of money and thought he was the shit. But that's what drove him to killing himself, to trying to kill himself. His soul was dead because sex work is the worst thing that you can do for your soul. Sexual intercourse is the most powerful experience that we have as human beings. More powerful than any drug that you can ever do. So I'm urging everyone and anyone who's willing to listen, when you perform sexual activities, your soul is going through extreme vortexes that I am definitely not qualified to explain, but I'm not sure if anyone really knows what's happening. Okay, that's where life comes from. Okay? Gentlemen, your sperm comes from God, and it is the source of your being. It is the source of who you are and your energy levels and your presence and your focus and mission on this earth depends on it. And ladies, your womb is a portal that connects the divine into this three-dimensional world. You all know this. You all know this. Every month when you get your period, you have divine visions, and your womb provides you with infinite intelligence. That might be the main reason why you are more intelligent than us men. Not to be a feminist here, but we all know that women's intuition is something that we all must respect and acknowledge. I believe that men and women are equal, but we are totally different. And the more we can respect each other and how our bodies work, the better it will be for our generation and the next generations to come. So, in these last few years, with the rise of depression and substance abuse and inflation, the lowering of the rate of the dollar, and the rise of prices of everything, that has affected our human race in ways that we are only starting to understand. I've heard that women are seeking older men because their security and need for financial stability is a very valid thing for females, because they are not built physically like us to be able to work until we're 60, 70. Another reason is the human female body was designed to bear children, and children rely on their mothers 100%. You know, horses and lions and bears, they can set the children, the cubs, free after a year or two or even less. But us humans depend so much on our parents for 18 years, 13, 15, 20, 30 years. You know, we need to stay connected to our parents and especially our mothers because that's where the divine love comes from. That's why the oldest goddesses on this planet were all female. That's why women are so beautiful. You know, we men are beautiful too. I'm not, trying to downplay, but women have this divine beauty that is just uncomprehendable. Women love women. Everybody likes to look at a beautiful woman. You know, there's lots of gorgeous, beautiful men out there, but there's something about the beauty of a woman that all of us can be drawn to. So I believe that that's why women do have this need for financial stability on a greater scale because they are more gentle and fragile and cannot protect themselves. Okay? Let's not get confused. Okay? Walking outside these streets as a woman is not a joke. Not in the daytime, but especially not in the nighttime. We men, we can take care of ourselves. Okay? Most men that I know, they would be okay living in their car or walking out in the streets, anywhere, you know? I walked around Kingston, Jamaica, at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, by myself. Walked around Brooklyn, New York, Brixton, some of the worst neighborhoods in Israel, by myself, because I'm a man and I could never really understand what it's like for a woman to walk outside by herself in the streets, you know? And driving for Lyft and being alone with male passengers and some gay passengers made me learn a little bit about what it's like to be a woman. You know, I've had some very uncomfortable situations with gay men who came into my car and they were a little bit intoxicated and kind of aggressive. And yeah, I had to call the police a couple times. I had to set firm boundaries. I had to kick people out of my car. But a woman would have a harder time setting these boundaries, especially when you're in a car one on one with someone. So I'm beginning to gain more respect and appreciation for the women in my life and all women worldwide, because it's scary out there. It really is, This world is a beautiful place. I love this planet and I have so much appreciation for Pachamama, Mother Nature, the trees, the sky, the ocean. But at the same time, it's a very dark place and a very dangerous place. So I'd like you guys to start becoming more aware of this and acknowledge how scary you are, how toxic you are. Just because you are a man, that makes you intimidating. to women, to children, to other men. And it doesn't matter how feminist you are or how gentle you are, you're a man. Man could be short for monster. You know, we are the most vicious animal on this planet. Over the course of history, man has killed more animals, women, children, other men, trees, earth, than all of the other animals combined. We are the most vicious and dangerous creatures that this planet has ever seen. Maybe even the whole universe. But that's another topic. We'll talk about that some other time. So, learning these things, I am beginning to accept my responsibility as Daniel, the one who is judged by God. My responsibility of who I am and why I was born on this planet 40 years ago in March, you know. I'm beginning to understand what my mission is. Beginning to understand why I am the way that I am. Because I know I am not a regular dude. I'm a weirdo. And I have no problem with that. I'm learning to accept my weirdness, my compassion, my aggression, everything about who I am, my selfishness, my selflessness. Circumstances make us who we are. Our parents, our schools, our teachers, our classmates, our neighbors. I'm remembering my neighbor in Brooklyn when I was 7 years old. We were very, I'll say broke. We weren't poor, but we didn't have a lot of money. And my neighbor was about 2 years older than me, and I thought he was one of my best friends, you know. His dad was Spike Lee's lawyer. They had money. They were much better off financially than I was. And one day, don't remember exactly what happened, but this kid broke into my house and stole my video games. Video games, Nintendo, that we used to play together. And that made me, looking back at it now, that made me extremely weary and suspicious of everyone I come across. And because we all have this dark side and potential to be vicious and dangerous, because we are humans, then that was very predominant in how I would see people and deal with people. But we're all 50-50. We're all good and bad, light and dark. And whatever you choose to see in people, that's what you're going to see. You know? You might see monsters in your children or in your partner, which they are. Sometimes we're all monsters. When we're hungry, when it's that time of the month, when we're tired, when somebody cut us off in traffic, when somebody threatens your children, you can be a murderer. I know I can. We all have the capacity to kill another human being. Each and every one of us. Don't get it twisted. I don't care even if you're Mother Teresa. We are all capable of creating destruction. But at the same time, we are all capable of facilitating a space for healing and helping each other. And I believe that that's what we all want more than anything. We all want to be good. We all want to help our fellow humans however we can. Some people have been through some dark circumstances in their life that make them see the world in a kind of darker color than others. Like myself, you know, I saw myself as a very positive person, and I still do. But I always had this potential to be evil and dangerous and judgmental. So today I'm learning that I am far from perfect. I am a sinner. I am toxic. And I'm learning to love it. I'm learning to love myself and accept the good, the bad, and the ugly of who I am. So, Yerba Mate. This show is not sponsored by Yerba Mate, but if you guys want to sponsor it, I'll take all the cans you can send me. And Geek Bar. No, I'm not gonna sponsor these guys. Vaping it's a thing, you know? I'm not gonna pretend I'm not perfect. I smoke cigarettes since I'm 12 years old. I grew up in Israel. You can judge me, you know? We had buses blowing up all around us and the whole world sending negative direction towards me and my people for thousands of years, but especially in current times, you know, a lot of judgment is coming towards my people, the Israeli people. And yes, we are monsters. When our children are getting attacked and kidnapped, when they're just trying to have fun and dance at a party, you better believe it. And I know that you would do the same thing. I know that if I'm not justifying any form of military activity, I am a pacifist. But I know that this world is run by force. Only the strongest shall survive. If your country does not have a military, another country with a military will take it over. That's just how it goes in this 21st, 20th century, these last 3,000, 5,000 years. So, all my friends out there who are criticizing Israel, I love you. I do. And I agree with you. What's happening in Gaza is devastating. And I've been saying free Palestine since I was very young. I've always been a leftist. I was a radical leftist until not too long ago. Until October 7th, actually. Because of you guys. Yeah. All you guys who are criticizing Israel and just supporting one group of politicians over the other, you know, the Hamas and the Israeli government, they are both politicians, And they are both illegitimate when it comes to democracy, because both of these groups have been in power for over 20 years without no elections. The people who live in Gaza and the people who live in Israel do not have a choice. We all want to live in peace, feed our children, dance to some music, eat some good food. So if you're supporting one side or the other side, you're actually harming both sides, in particular the poor people on both sides, because they are the only ones who are getting hurt and the only ones that are hurting other people. The longer this war in Israel and Gaza and Palestine, the longer this war goes on, the more people are going to die for no reason. So the sooner that you, with your Instagram account, the sooner you realize that you are supporting the system when you are only supporting one side, whether it's Palestine or Israel, it doesn't matter. It's all about the people that are dying, the hostages that are still being kept captive, and the hostages that have been tortured and abused. It's not about one group of people against the other group of people. It's about politicians who are making money off of the death of children. It's the industrial weapons complex that is making money off of the death of children. And the more you keep protesting and saying free Palestine or fuck Palestine or I support Israel, I support Palestine, you're just making it worse, because this whole war in Israel and the war in Ukraine, it's all made for you to watch it on your phone and get all angry and stop doing what you're doing. Stop making this world a better place for yourself and for your family. That's the whole purpose of these distractions. They just want our destruction and to keep us in the low vibration of fighting with each other. I love you all. I really do. I love the Palestinian people. I love the Israeli people. I love the European people, the American people, Africa, Asia, South America, the German people who have been criticizing Israel more than anyone when they have tried to exterminate my ancestors and deport us from our native land. You know, the German language was built off the Jewish language. We are native Germans. My last name is Ehrlich. I go by Early because people have a hard time spelling or reading out my name out loud, and it just looks good on paper, and I want it to be more easy to remember, But yeah, my family owned one of the biggest shoe factories in Germany until the Nazi Dassler brothers took over those factories, Adidas and Puma, you know. And now Adidas poster boy Kanye West is talking all kinds of nonsense about my people who have given him the media that we created in Hollywood so that he can speak freely and play his magnificent music. I have no hatred for Kanye West. He's one of the best producers and marketing people of our time. What he did at the Super Bowl was absolute genius. He's a genius. And even talking shit about the Jewish people was a smart marketing move for him because we've been around for a while and we know how to create good content and we know how to do business. And a lot of people don't like that. And Kanye West knew that talking shit about Jewish people will get him a lot of attention and make him a lot of money. So, yeah, I salute you, yay. You know what you're doing. You're a smart motherfucker. You know, his latest album is a masterpiece. And yeah, I love you, yay. Kanye West, you're a great human being, just like each and every one of us. Because I believe that, again, circumstances make me who we are. Circumstances make me who I am. So if I was born a bastard to a Jewish family and all the non-Jewish people didn't want to fuck with me and all the Jewish people didn't want to fuck with me and I wouldn't have no friends and I just wanted to be an artist, then yeah, maybe I could have been Adolf Hitler. Maybe you could as well. I spent some time in Germany and learned how to forgive the German people for what they did to my people. I learned how to forgive Adolf Hitler because life is too short to be angry. You know, we can forgive and not forget. We cannot forget, but we can forgive. Someone told me once that it's called forgive. It's because you give someone that gift of allowing them to move on and allowing yourself to move on in life and stay pleasant and joyful so that you can be productive and creative for your own family and for your own career and your neighbors and your friends. Walking around with a chip on your shoulder, nobody's gonna want to hang out with you. Trust me, I know. I know, because I used to be like that. I still am. And I'm very intense for most people, you know. And I love myself so much that I'm okay with it, you know. I wish I had more friends that were there for me. But at the same time, I have tons of friends all over this planet. I know I have more friends than most people. And I'm learning that it's not easy for people to be there for you because they have so much on their plates already. Like I said earlier, every person you encounter is dealing with a struggle you know nothing about. Every single one of us is dealing with some hard ass shit. So that's another reason to be compassionate and kind and loving with everyone you encounter. And it's important because joy is contagious. And the world right now could use a little bit of joy. There's so much dark shit happening, and the cost of living is so high all over this planet that people just can't take it no more. We're all just struggling so much to keep food on the table, to keep a roof over our head. 12 years ago, I decided that I was done. I didn't want nothing to do with society. I went to live on organic farms and just take care of myself. And I lived on organic farms in Israel, Portugal, Jamaica, California, Hawaii, San Diego, and I just took care of myself. And then I had kids, and I take care of my kids, and I don't care about nobody else. But that wasn't enough for me and for who I am, but it also wasn't enough for my family. The universe put me in a situation where I have to be the man I was destined to be in order to provide for my family. Okay? I'm in a position right now that I am so thankful to be in. I was so terrified of looking into the camera and talking to potentially millions of people. But I never felt so good in my life as in this moment right now. I know I'm in the right place at the right time. I have no doubt of that. I'm very thankful that you're taking the time to listen to me because without you, there is no me. Without you guys listening and liking and commenting and sharing these videos, I'm not going to be doing it much longer. You know, it's not about my ego. Maybe it is a little bit about my ego. I love it when people like my stuff and comment and send me texts and call me like, yo, Daniel, you're doing awesome, man. I love what you're doing. And yeah, it feels good because I am a people pleaser. I am codependent, but I'm also a narcissist, you know? And these two words are very, very, very trending right now. But they're also very dangerous because only hurt people can hurt people. And if you label someone a narcissist, then you automatically shut them down and box them in. And you put a label on them that prevents you from seeing them as a human being. Okay? Only hurt people can hurt people, which means when you never had parents that nurtured you and nourished you and were there for you and listened to you, and you never had real friends to want to hang out with you and do fun stuff with you and people that you can trust, and you're going to become a narcissist. You're going to become someone who's afraid to trust the world. And a lot of us are. A lot of us been through these circumstances which made us cold and fearful of other humans, fearful of ourselves and what we can be and what we can bring to this earth. I went to a Codependence Anonymous meeting last month, and that was one of the most healing experiences I've ever had. I walk into a room and hear 40 different people talk about the same experiences exactly like I've had. And I cried my eyes out. I'd never cried like this in my life because I felt like I was alone. And not that I'm the only one that these things happen to, but that it's possible to heal from these things. And by talking about it and letting it go and crying about it, you have more understanding and compassion towards those people that you relied upon and expected them to be there for you. Because, like I said, only hurt people can hurt people. My parents grew up in different times than how I grew up. And they, just like myself, had to work 60, 70 hours a week just to put food on my plate. But as a child, all we want from our parents, well, we want lots of things, yes, but we want them to listen to us and believe in us and hug us. And unfortunately, most of us don't get that in our generation, especially in our parents' generation. Our parents lived in a time where it was okay to beat your children with a belt, with a ruler, with your fist. So I'm learning to have more compassion for my parents. And I'd like you to have more compassion for your parents because they love you and they did their best. Trust me, they did the best that they could have done with what they had. Yeah. Love thy mother and thy father. Respect thy mother and thy father. You know, it's in the Ten Commandments, and it's one of the hardest ones to understand. And you might not understand it until you have kids of your own. I didn't understand squat until I had kids of my own. You know, iron sharpens iron, men's group. We're gonna meet soon, and we're gonna talk about these things in person. So if you want to come to one of the group meetings, please shoot me a DM, call me up 619-777-8973, and we'll talk about it, you know? But yeah, all you young guys and girls, until you have children, this world is a totally different place. Once your first child is conceived, not even here on this earth, once your first child is conceived, once your partner is pregnant, you're going to start an incredible transformation process that'll take you quite a few years. But I promise you that you're going to see this world in a totally different way, and you're going to see yourself in a totally different way. And when your children are born, even before that, when your partner is pregnant, or if you are the woman who's pregnant, your partner is going to teach you stuff about you. And your pregnant wife, hopefully, is going through the incredible pain and nausea and the visions that she gets when she's pregnant. She's going to teach you more about yourself than you've learned in your whole life combined. That's what I tell people. You're a boy until you have children. Only then you start to become a man. You can think you're a man when you're 21. You can. Nobody's going to stop you. But I met some 21-year-old guys who have kids. 28-year-old guy who's been a dad since he's 18. Way more mature than how I was when I just had kids or when my kids were 2 years old. So, yeah, having children is the best experience you can ever have. Don't get me wrong, having children is the best experience you can ever have. There's nothing more fun in this world than playing with my children at the beach, taking them to the trampoline park, jumping around with them, feeding your kids, you know? Being able to make the money to put food on your kids' plate and watching them eat and enjoy is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Playing video games with my son is the best time I've ever had in my life, you know? So, all you guys out there, not sure if you want to have kids or afraid to have kids or don't want kids, I was there too. I didn't want kids until I met Shakela. And she told me, I'd have a child with you. And I was like, whoa. Are you serious? And we met like maybe a month before that. She told me, I'd have a child with you. And I was shocked. And 1 week later, she was pregnant. And we were two hippies up in the middle of Humboldt County with $1,000 to our name and a few trim jobs lined up. But we had faith in God, in the universe, and in each other. And it was quite a rocky road, and it still is. But this woman gave me the best, most incredible gift I could ever have received. My son Judah and her daughter Eliana are by far the greatest teachers I've ever had. These children gave me everything that I have. All these clothes that I'm wearing, the courage that I have right now to sit here and talk to you, the love that I have in my heart, the wisdom that I have in my head. Everything is thanks to those little children and their mother. So don't be afraid. Make some babies with the right person and stick with that person. You know, I learned something recently. Someone told me love is a decision, it's not an emotion. Once you find someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with, that's a calling from God. And if they feel the same way, you guys need to get married and you guys need to work together to understand each other and to be a beneficial source of energy towards each other and towards each other's mission and goal in life. Because no man is an island, no man stands alone. We are designed to live in companionship, in community. Going to sleep by yourself is not so much fun. It is sometimes, but I believe that we are designed to live in a family structure. And the system that we live in absolutely is necessary in order to support each other financially, emotionally, physically, mentally. Now, our counterparts, whether it's a man or a woman, we chose them for a reason because they see through us. They know who we are on the highest level possible. I believe in past lives, and I can go into that if you want. Comment below. Talk about past lives, and I'll tell you a little bit about my experience with past lives in the next episode. All right? How does that sound? You know, I'm new to this podcasting thing, and this is my first time doing it all by myself in front of a camera. Yeah, the Toxic Podcast. Let's take a break.
What's up, guys? This incredible podcast is sponsored by my company, Juggle.media. We help small businesses get big. So if you run your own business or want to start a new one, just hit me up. 619-777-8973 or log on to juggle.media and let's get the ball rolling, yo.
What's up, guys? We're back. Yeah, needed to gather my thoughts for a second and give you some advertising for my business, Juggle Media. Yeah. Now, if you guys are a little bit confused about what's going on, why is this marketing guy talking to us about spirituality? Why is this spiritual guy talking to us about marketing? Hmm. Where's the comedy at? Yeah, the first part of the show was kind of serious, and I'm gonna try lightening up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, I don't want you guys to be crying and confused and sad or just too serious, you know? So I'm going to tell you about how I started Juggle Media and why I started Juggle Media, okay? A year and a half ago, I got injured driving for Lyft. Somebody crashed into me and I got a hernia and I had to stay in bed for 3 months. And yeah, I always had this dream of starting a marketing company. I almost started Juggle Media 10 years ago, but I didn't take life serious enough back then. And I didn't understand money and how the system works and how it's always going to work. You know, hopefully one day we'll find something better, but until then, we got to make that money. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I was bedridden for 3 months and I had two little kids and a partner that liked to eat food and good food, and I only give my family organic food as much as possible because the food in this country is not the best. All right, we'll keep it at that. All right, that's another topic for another time. Yo, comment below if you want to hear me talk about GMOs and how dangerous the food can be. Okay, food is your medicine, and your medicine is your food. So we'll leave that to some other time. It's also related to my injury, yeah, because I was vegan for a long time, and that's kind of one of the things that might have caused my injury. But yeah, so I had to feed my family, and I was stuck in bed, and that encouraged me to start my own LLC, Juggle Media, because I learned that in this financial system that we live in, if you have an LLC, then you have more rights than if you're a human being, meaning you can take big loans out for your business and accumulate lots of debt that you aren't accountable for. Shout out to Donald Trump, the one who taught me this. Okay? You can go bankrupt 4 times and still become president. The last time Donald Trump went bankrupt, he owed $900 million and still became president. So, what does that tell you? It tells me that it's legal. So, I learned about this LLC business during COVID and didn't have the courage to set it up until I was bedridden, you know? Marcus Garvey said, "Man doesn't know himself until his back is against the wall." And boy, was my back against the wall. Okay? We were always told that money is the root of all evil. Well, when I was bedridden, I learned that the root of all evil is seeing two children that you cannot feed, is a landlord that is demanding his rent. Okay? Shout out to my landlord that as much as he demanded the rent, he was still patient, and we still have that house after owing him lots of money and, doing the right thing and paying him every week whatever we can. But yeah, I started Juggle Media with my back against the wall. And my intention at first was to produce videos because I grew up in a video production household. My mom and her husband have been in the television industry in Israel for many years, and I've been in the television industry on sets, in editing rooms, in front of the screen, in front of the cameras, behind the cameras, you name it, since I was 8 years old. I worked on TV commercials by myself in editing rooms from the age of 16. So I understand how marketing works. And I decided to bring all of my talents together to this company so that I could be of service and to generate income from my family from home. That was my initial intention. And I do love farming, and my long term goal is to buy a piece of land and be able to create content and do marketing services for my clients from home. Okay? We love farming and we love the natural life, but depending on farming to feed your family in this day and age is very, very difficult, especially if you don't have some really good big money behind you to fund this and get the ball rolling. So, Juggle Media, our slogan is let's get the ball rolling because marketing is a form of magic. It's a craft, and we are working with imagination and creativity and public image, and I really enjoy this. Going back to my codependency issues, I always loved helping other people, and this company allows me to do that and express that, and it brings me great joy. And it's always been easier for me to promote other people than myself. Codependence Anonymous. Love you guys. But at the same time, I always knew that I loved myself and who I am. And I have plenty of toxic narcissistic traits. So now is the time that I start promoting myself. The universe has put me in a position where if I want to get more clients, I need to put my face out there and generate value for the people who are watching my stuff. Okay. Social media, online marketing is a lot about value. Okay. Nobody's going to watch your videos if you don't provide them with some kind of value. If you're not teaching them something, if you're not entertaining them, if you're not uh, bringing them something that benefits them in some kind of way. Okay, that's my number one tip to all content creators out there or all companies who are trying to get some more views and followers on social media. You got to bring value to your viewers. And I hope I'm bringing value to you guys in this podcast. And I know that I bring value to my clients because their stuff looks good and I'm getting them great results. So I'm proud of myself. I really am proud of myself for bringing great results to my clients and making them make more money than they would have without me. You see, back to the magic and craft of marketing, I was blessed with my parents who taught me to be who I am and what I know about media and music and arts and confidence. Shout out to my dad, one of the most confident people this world has ever seen. When you have a business and your brand demonstrates that you are the best at what you do, then you're going to get a lot more clients who are going to want to pay you a lot more money, because confidence is one of the most precious things that any person or business can have. Okay? When you have confidence in your trade, in your skill, then people can see that. You can't fool people. You can't lie to anyone but yourself. If you're a fraud and you just trying to trick people with smoke and mirrors, they can tell when you're lying to them. You cannot lie to anyone in this world. Okay? We are all divine beings, and the truth is right in your eyes every moment of the day. You can see a man's face, but you can't see his heart. And the eyes are a window to the soul. So when you're creating a brand image for yourself or for one of your clients, you have to be truthful. Okay? My clients are the top rated remodeling team in San Diego. They have the most reviews on Yelp, and everyone is super happy to work with them. Okay? I have other clients with the only hydration monitoring system that exists. Shout out hydrostasis. Okay? When you're demonstrating your value with words, you have to be 100% honest. Okay? And if you are not in agreement with what you're trying to say about yourself, there's ways to go about that also. Okay? If you're not the best roofing guy in your town, guess what? You can be. You can improve. You can go and get more training. You can get better employees. But if you want to be the best roofing guy in Phoenix, Arizona, it's up to you. You can do that. And then once you are, you can say that. And once you say that, you'll see that the clients will be running to you. All right? I can't tell you right now that I'm the best podcaster on planet Earth because I just started this thing. I'm just learning as I go along. You know, it's there's so much to learn about this thing. I got lights here. I got a camera that I don't know nothing about. There's body language and public speaking skills that I have no experience with, and I'm just learning from YouTube videos because I can't afford to go get proper training and classes for public speaking. But all I can talk about is what I know and learn from my own personal experience. And I hope that I'm bringing some value to you guys with that. That's all I can that's all I can say. I just want to be creating valuable content for men and women who want to do better for themselves, for their families, for their communities. And I believe that's all of us. I truly believe that each and every person on this planet wants to do better for himself, for his family, for his community, for his country, and for all of humanity. I believe that with all of my heart. And I might be the only one who believes that, but when you hear me say that, something in that resonates true with you. But it's hard to see because we've been programmed to fight against each other. in this capitalism and communism. Okay, capita means head. Each one is stuck in their own head. Me against the world, like Tupac said. Communism is about the community and looking out for your community. But that sounds much better, doesn't it? Right? But guess what? You can't look after your community if you're broke. And you can't make money if you don't have a solid foundation in who you are and a connection with a higher power. You just cannot. So it all starts within you. That's the good part about capitalism is that you have to take care of you before you can take care of anyone else. As they say, you cannot pour from an empty cup. It's impossible. Just like you cannot drink from an empty can. You can't smoke from an empty vape. That's why I like these geek bars. They got numbers here. Can't see, it's kind of blurry, but it shows you how much batteries left and how many hits you got left. Yo, Geek Bar, if you want to support this podcast, I don't care. I'll take some of your money because these things help me get off cigarettes, which smell terrible. Vaping is probably going to turn out to be much more dangerous than cigarettes as the years go by and research is made, but vapes actually help me be more calm, you know? Nicotine is an ancient medicine that has been used by humans for thousands of years. And I do want to quit vaping. And I believe that I will one day. But right now, I'm using this medicine and it's helping me. So judge not unless you judge yourself. Shout out Bob Marley. Yeah, we all have drugs that we're addicted to. Sugar is a drug. Instagram is a drug. Validation from other people is a drug. Oxytocin, you know what I mean? Music is a drug. There are so many powerful drugs that are at our disposal that make us happy, make this world a better place, make money for us. So, what I'm trying to say is don't be so hard on yourself, okay? There's plenty of people that can be hard on you and judging you. You don't need yourself to judge you, okay? When you judge yourself, you're judging everyone else. The same way is that, like, if you're not loving yourself, you cannot love anyone else. So, yeah, I'm learning to love myself and I'm learning how to be selfish because if you don't take care of yourself, who's going to take care of you? But at the same time, I'm learning how to be selfless and actually care about everyone else I come into contact with, including you guys who we probably are never going to meet in person, but I really do love you and I know that you are a good person. Okay? Selfishness, selflessness. Okay? When you're doing something good for someone else, that makes you feel good, doesn't it? So, is it really selflessness? Or are you being selfish when you're helping your neighbor? Like I said in the beginning, I believe that God is everything. And I am God, and you are God, and my kids, and my partner, and her family, and my family, and my neighbors, and my landlord. I believe that we all are God. So we cannot really be selfish or selfless. We're always doing both. So It all comes back to judgment again. Judgment, labeling. I used to be one of the most judgmental people on this planet. I used to judge everyone. When I was a Rasta man in long dreadlocks, I judged this guy because he eats meat. That guy drinks alcohol. Oh, this guy, he doesn't even have dreadlocks. Oh, that guy, he's a white guy with dreads. He's probably just fake. When I was that white guy with dreads, who probably was fake too. But now I'm realizing that there's no point in judging people. There's no point whatsoever in that. All you're doing is wasting time, lowering your vibration, and maybe affecting that other person's vibration unintentionally. Okay? Eckhart Tolle said, I think it was Eckhart Tolle, maybe it was Jesus. It doesn't matter. When you're judging people, you cannot be loving people. And I'm not saying making love and being in love with people. I'm just saying loving people, allowing them to be who they are. That's the meaning of love. And it's a decision. Okay? Love is a decision. Once you decide to be love and show love to everyone and everything, then miracles happen to you and to the whole entire planet. So I'm just gonna wrap this up because this was a very incredible experience sitting right here and talking to you guys, talking to myself, God. And I'm really excited about what's going to happen in the future with my life and how I'm going to be helpful to my friends, my family, my clients. I don't have many clients right now, but they're all very happy with what I'm bringing to the table. And my passengers are very happy with how I treat them. And I'm finding myself. I'm becoming the man that I was born to be. And I'm very excited about that. I always knew that I was a healer. And I always knew that my voice is my weapon of choice, my chosen weapon. Speaking of the chosen, that's a saying that has been, there's a saying that has always been very dear to my heart. And it's very popular in the Rasta community, probably in the Christian and Jewish as well. But it goes, many are called, but few are chosen. And I know that the Jewish people have been labeled as the chosen people, and that has kind of messed with the psychology of our people and can cause lots of arrogance or lots of shame or lots of self defensiveness, you know? Oh, we're the chosen people, so everybody hates us, and we're just going to either be shy and humble about it or be extra fuck you about it. But the way I interpret it is that many have been called to do the work of God, but only a few of us have actually chosen to do it. Only a few of us have chosen to walk this narrow bridge, this thin line between love and hate, between light and dark, between good and evil, the balance of life, and to actually be focused on elevating and enlightening ourselves and our children and our communities. And I feel like I have chosen this path many years ago, but today I feel it more than ever. I am committed to being a better person and to doing good for my brothers and sisters of the human race. On this podcast, I'm going to bring some guests. We're going to talk about some hardcore issues that are affecting each and every one of us. And I really cannot do this without you. Okay, I need you guys to like every single video and share every single video and comment on every single video on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube. Okay, I really cannot do this without you guys. And even if you're not going to show me the love right now, I'm going to keep on doing it because I know that quality comes from quantity and consistency. And I'm just going to keep on making banging content every single day until I build a team, a community, an army, if you like, of people like myself who are committed to making this a better place for our children and their children and their children's children's children. Okay? Yo, what's up, everybody? Check out my new shirts. Get yours today. Juggle.media. What you say, man? What you saying, man? Like my new shirts? Yeah. Yeah, check this one out. It's for all my hustlers, all my hardworking people. Get yours today. Juggle.media. Okay, guys. We're back again. And I have a recommendation for you guys. I found this show called The Chosen. Two people recommended to me in the same day, so I had to check it out. I don't really watch TV. I'm a super busy guy. I make music, I make videos, I do marketing, I drive for Lyft 60, 70 hours a week. I got two beautiful children that I don't spend enough time with. But this show has grabbed me by the heart. I was going to say something else. And really helped me understand about Judaism, Christianity, Islam, even, and about being a better person and finding my true purpose in life and finding compassion and unconditional love towards humanity. So, this show, The Chosen, is talking about this famous Jewish guy who lived in Israel about 2,000 years ago. They say he was the Son of God, which aren't we all? But yeah, growing up in Israel, we don't talk about Jesus. You don't say his name. We don't know nothing about him. You never, ever, ever read the New Testament. I don't think you can even find it anywhere. But this New Testament and this show has made me understand God in a way that I never could have understood before. Maybe it's because English is my first language and it's easier for me to understand, but I also I learned about God and Jesus from Buddhists, you know, Alan Watts, Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle talks about what Jesus said, like, why can't we be like the lilies who never toil or slumber? You know, why can't we be like the birds who don't have houses or clothes, but all they do is fly around and enjoy life, and God takes care of them? And my favorite one is when Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within you, which means God is within you, and He's not outside. He's not some old man in the sky. He's within you. And when you remember that God is in your heart, you can breathe into your heart and feel better. And you'll remember that God is in each and every one of us' heart. And with love and compassion, we can all make this world a better place. So, again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you made it this far. And I really hope that you found value in this podcast and that you would like to share this, like, subscribe, comment on all four frontiers, wherever you're seeing this: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Maybe we get a website up and running soon. But yeah, I'm here to spread love and encourage people to make money so that they can help their neighbors and their families and their communities and their countries and this whole planet, because it's true. Money makes the world go round. This war in Israel is all about money. Okay? The war in Ukraine is all about money. The war in the streets is all about money. Slavery was all about money. And we cannot see money as the root of all evil. That verse has been misconstrued. The real verse is the love of money is the root of all evil. Okay? I'm not telling you to love money. I'm telling you to get money and use it as a tool to help other people. That's what I'm all about. I'm helping other people to make money so that I can make money to help other people. Okay? This is the cycle of life. So I'm not going to recycle anymore. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you again.
What's up, guys? This incredible podcast is sponsored by my company, Juggle.media. We help small businesses get big. So if you run your own business or want to start a new one, just hit me up, 619-777-8973, or log on to Juggle.media. And let's get the ball rolling, yo!